Introduction to Gun Violence and Statistics. The United States experiences epidemic levels of gun violence, claiming over 30,000 lives annually. According to the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention, for every person who dies from a gunshot wound, 2 others are wounded. Every year, approximately 100,000 Americans are victims of gun violence. In addition to those are killed or injured, there are countless others whose lives are forever changed by the deaths of the injuries to their loved ones. Gun violence touches every segment of our society. It increases the probability of deaths and incidents of domestic violence, raises the likelihood of fatalities by those who intend to injure others, and among those who attempt suicide, place children and young people at special risk and disproportionately affect communities of color. Mass shooting tragedies like the school shooting at Virginia Tech in April 2007 and Northern Illinois University in February 2008, or the 1993 office shooting in San Francisco that led to the formation of the Law Center to prevent gun violence, to receive significant media attention. However, gun deaths and injuries in the U.S. usually occur quietly without national press coverage everywhere. Statistics on gun deaths and injuries. In 2010, guns took the lives of 31,076 Americans in homicides, suicides, and unintentional shootings. This is the equivalent of more than 85 deaths each day and more than 3 deaths each hour. 73,505 Americans were treated in the hospital emergency departments for non-fatal gunshot wounds in 2010. Firearms were the 3rd leading cause of injury-related deaths nationwide in 2010, following poisoning and motor vehicle accidents. Homicides. Guns were used in 11,078 homicides in the U.S. in 2010, comprising almost 35% of all gun deaths and over 68% of all homicides. On average, 33 gun homicides were committed each day for the year 2005 to 2010. Regions and states with higher rates of gun ownership have significantly higher rates of homicides than states with lower rates of gun ownership. Where guns are prevalent, there are significantly more homicides, particularly gun homicides. Suicides. Firearms were used in 19,392 suicides in the U.S. in 2010, constituting almost 52% of all gun deaths. Over 50% of all suicides are committed with firearms. On average, 49 gun suicides were committed each day for the year 2005 to 2010. White males, about 40% of the U.S. population, accounted for over 80% of the firearm suicides in 2010. A study of Carolina handgun purchases found that in the first year after the purchase of a handgun, suicides were the leading cause of death among the purchasers. Firearms were used in nearly 44% of suicide deaths among persons under age 25 in 2010. More than 75% of guns used in suicide attempts and unintentional injuries of infants to 19-year-olds were stored in the residence of the victim, a related relative, or a friend. Unintentional death and shootings. In 2010, unintentional firearm injuries caused the deaths of 606 people. From 2005 through 2010, almost 3,800 people in the U.S. died from unintentional shootings. Over 1,300 victims of the unintentional shootings for the period 2005 to 2010 were under 25 years of age. People of all age groups are significantly more likely to die from unintentional firearms injuries than they live in states with more guns relative to states with fewer guns. On average, states with the highest gun levels, and 9 times out of unintentional shootings found that 8% such shootings deaths results from gunshots fired by children under the age of 6. The U.S. General Accounting Office has estimated that 31% of unintentional deaths caused by firearms might be prevented by the addition to 2 devices, a child-proof safety lock and the unloaded indicator. Statistics on youth gun violence and gun access. Firearm injuries are the cause of death of 18 children and young adults 24 years of age and under each day in the U.S. Children and young adults 24 years of age and under constitutes 38% of all firearm deaths and non-fatal injuries. In the United States, over 1.69 million kids aged 18 and under are living in households with loaded and unlocked firearms. More than 75% of guns used in suicide attempts and unintentional injuries of infants through 19 years old were stored in the residence of the victim, a relative or a friend. A 2000 study found that 55% of U.S. homes with children and firearms have one or more firearms in an unlocked place. 43% have guns without a trigger lock in an unlocked place. The practices of keeping firearms locked, unloaded, and storing ammunition in locked locations separate from firearms may assist in reducing youth suicides and unintentional injury in homes with children and teenagers where guns are stored.
Yeah, read that. You read that last one more time. The footstall.
The practices of keeping firearms locked, unloaded, and storing ammunition in a locked location separate from firearms may assist in reducing youth suicides and unintentional injury in homes with children and teenagers where guns are stored.
That's good.
Statistics on gun deaths and rapes. Firearm homicide is the leading cause of death for African Americans aged 1 through 44. African Americans make up nearly 13% of the U.S. population, but in 2009 suffered almost 24% of all firearm deaths and over 54% of all firearm homicides. Statistics on domestic violence and firearms. Gun increases the probability of death and incidents of domestic violence. Firearms were used to kill more than 2/3 of spouse and ex-spouse homicide victims in 1990 and 2005. Domestic violence also involving a firearm are 12 times more likely to result in death than those involving other weapons or bodily force. Abused women are 5 times more likely to be killed by the abuser if the abuser owns a firearm. A recent survey of female domestic violence shelter residents in California found that more than 1/3, 36.7, reported have been threatened or harmed with a firearm, and nearly 2/3, 64.5% of the households that contained a firearm, the intimate partner had used the firearm against the victim, usually threatened to shoot or kill the victim. Laws that prohibit the purchase of a firearm by a person subject to a domestic violence restraining order are associated with a reduction in the number of intimate partner homicides. Between 1990 and 2005, individuals killed by current dating partners made up almost half of all spouse and current dating partner homicides. A study of applicants for domestic violence restraining orders in Los Angeles found that most common relationships between the victim and the abuser was a dating relationship, and applicants for protective orders were more likely to mention firearms when the parties had not lived together and were not married. Statistics on gun ownership. Americans own an estimated 270 million firearms, approximately 90 guns for every 1 people. However, these high numbers of firearms are concentrated in an increasingly small minority of households. Data from General Social Survey conducted by the National Opinion Research Center at the University of Chicago found that American household gun ownership peaked in 1997, and more than half of American households, 53.7%, reported having any guns. By 2014, only 32.4% of American households had a gun in the home, less than a third. From 1985 to 2014, the percentage of Americans who reported personally owning a gun dropped by more than a quarter, down to 42.5%.